What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for clicking on this video today. If you're new to the channel, like the content, please make sure to like, subscribe, like always. It'd be very much appreciated. But today, we got to talk about UFC. UFC 319 just happened this past weekend, and I'm really just going to talk about the main event because that's probably the biggest talking point. And for a lot of different, well, not really different reasons, but I've seen a lot of reactions. And, it's kind of interesting seeing what people think about the whole thing because let's just go ahead and say it. I mean, it was a dominant, just straight dominant performance by the challenger, Chimaev, and I don't think anybody was expecting it, but the way he fought, a lot of people have issues with it. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and talk about it and my view on it, But yeah, like I said, just a dominant performance. And I think he broke like the record of like the most hits or something. I forgot the record, but just every single round he dominated the guy. It could be 10-8 round. You could really call it 10-8 round, except for maybe the last round. But yeah, Chimaev came in there with a game plan and he executed it to a T. It's just crazy, For me, look, so let's talk about the reason why a lot of people had issues with it. Was because the amount of wrestling, and it's not even. I don't even think it's really the wrestling. It's just that it just seemed like Chimaev at some points really wasn't looking for the stoppage, looking for chokes, looking for submissions and stuff. A lot of the time, well, not a lot, most of the time, he put DDP Drakus into this crucifix. And these little rabbit punches he was hitting with, it wasn't really doing a lot of damage, I don't think. I mean, I've never been in that position, but it didn't seem like he was doing a lot of damage. But it's like, okay, bro, like, we get, like, for me, I was like, what the hell, bro? Like, this is crazy. Because he just kept, repeatedly hitting him, touching him. And people felt like, he could have at least tried to choke him out a little bit more times because it just looked like he was okay with just having ground control and just having that time, with the ground control, because you get points from that, you know what I mean? A lot of people are going to be like, you know how people are. They like violence. They like people getting knocked out. They want to see people on their feet fighting. But that's not what MMA is. This is MMA. We got to remember that. This is UFC, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do understand how people like, what I'm saying? It can get a little repetitive. And for me, too, it's like, I'm not really a wrestling expert, you know what I mean? When I was listening to the commentators, like Joe Rogan, DC, it's like they were like drooling off of this. Like they really enjoy this, you know what I mean? But obviously, they're more in tune with the wrestling part of the UFC, the MMA, right? So obviously, they're gonna like it a lot more than the main fans who watch UFC, basically. So my reaction to the fight, right? As I'm watching the fight, I guess I was never bored of the fight because I feel like it's not that what I was watching was super exciting, but I think I was just more impressed on how dominant Chimaev was and like the way he was able to take down DDP so easily. And especially because DDP is a huge guy, bro. The way he cuts weight to be in that weight class is crazy, right? But Chimaev just grabbed him and just manhandled him, bro. I'm like, so I think I was very impressed, so it made me like interested like to keep watching the fight. Obviously, I mean, the grip that Chimaev had on DDP most of the time was crazy. But it's just like, bro, like the amount of times you put him on that crucifix, like, and it's just imagine, bro, like both your hands are literally, it's like your hands are tied, bro, and you're just getting repeatedly punched. Obviously, he's trying to hide his face to not get punched as hard. But it could be a struggle. I definitely could tell. I mean, Chimaev, bro, like, obviously, Russians, and it's the Russian takeover, not even like Khabib and stuff. I mean, obviously, Khabib was a big one, but like ever since these Russians came into the UFC, bro, the dominance they have is crazy, bro. Their wrestling is just... Wrestlers could be like here. Russia's like up here. But Russian wrestlers are up here, I mean, they freaking wrestle grizzly bears out there, wherever they are. I had Chimaev winning this fight, but I thought it was going to be a lot... I know a lot of people thought it was going to be a lot closer because DDP is a great fighter, you know what I mean? I mean, his resume speaks for himself. Obviously, he's fought Sean Strickland, beat him. He's beat Israel Adesanya, beat him. And I think one of the most surprising one for a lot of people was when he fought Robert Whittaker and he beat him. A lot of people were like, okay, this guy's legit. You know what I mean? And I think that was his, I think he fought Whittaker to really put himself up there to actually, go for the champ. DDP is a great fighter, but just seeing him get like manhandled like that for mostly the whole fight was just ridiculous. And yeah, like I said, it never had me bored, but I could definitely see and like I could understand why people had an issue because I don't think most of the fans of UFC are wanting to tune into a Chimaev fight if he keeps doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's not the most like amusing thing to watch. I mean, if you're, like I said, if you're a wrestling expert, you're gonna love this. But at the same time, it's mixed martial arts, not just wrestling. You know what I mean? So I kind of understand where people are going with that, and I can see how it could be, a repetitive thing if he keeps doing that. But hey, it's a game plan, bro, and it's working because Chimaev is gonna be a problem because he's the champ now. He just beat DDP. He is the champ, and whoever fights him next, bro, they gotta just focus on wrestling because it just seems like Chimaev, like you see his last fight, Chimaev just wants to manhandle you. I mean, Kevin Holland, the way he beat him was crazy. And Usman too, like the thing about Chimaev too is a lot of people had questions about his heart or like if he really does pull it off when he gets in those situations. Like Gilbert Burns, he was exposed a lot. A lot of people thought he got exposed. Usman fight too. People thought Usman was really close to beating him off like 3 weeks notice and stuff in a new weight class. I mean, here he just dominated him and he wasn't really put under that fire, so we really don't know if they can be answered. But just know it's going to be a struggle to really dethrone this guy off the championship. Now, a lot of people, including myself, don't like about Chimaev, and that's his, what is it called? It's a word. This is basically, he don't be fighting a lot. You know what I mean? Like, when was his last fight? Was that a year or 2 years ago? He doesn't fight consistently. You know what I mean? Active. He's not an active fighter. You know what I mean? So it's like, he's a great fighter, but he's not really active. He misses weight sometimes, so it's like, I don't know. Is his discipline always there? But now he's a champ, so a lot of people are obviously going to be wanting to come for that belt. So he needs to be more active. I hope he really wants to be active and wants to fight now because he's the champ a lot more. So we're gonna see what happens with that. But yeah, he's never really been that active fighter that you see every single year, at least once or twice. I hope that changes now because he's the champ. But yeah, Chimaev is a new champion now. Just wanted to come on here and talk about it a little bit because I did find it interesting, the reactions of people and how the fight went, So other than that, I really got nothing else to say other than thank y'all so much for watching the video. If y'all like this content, please make sure to like, subscribe like always. Be very much appreciated. Thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.